Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Marissa and thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button if you do enjoy this video and subscribe for new videos every single week. In today's video, we are actually going to be doing a reaction video, and it's going to be the reaction to my 2021 goals and kind of give a grade for myself if I've accomplished them or how I feel about them now compared to obviously when I did make those goals. So I'm going to pull up my video on my phone and we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so I published this video. It's actually one of my first videos, and it's actually 14 minutes long, and I look completely different. I have chocolate brown hair. I have straight across bangs. This is a few months after I moved into this apartment. And yeah, so let's go ahead and check it out. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa, for those who are new here. Today I wanted to share with you guys... The background is completely different too. Now, 2020 was a hard year for, I think, everybody. I know it was, especially for me. And I'm also the type of person that once a new year hits, I like to hit the reset button. That's still true today. I'm very happy to hit the reset button. So today I wanted to go over the goals that I have. So my first goal is to read more. When I was a kid, I loved reading. Okay, so the first goal was read more. I think so overall my goal was to read 12 books, so one book a month. That seemed very doable. However, I want to say I think I'm thinking about it, and I honestly only read maybe 8 books. In the past like 2 or 3 months, I've kind of ramped up the books I've been reading. One book I read was The Dressmakers of Auschwitz, which was really interesting. Of course, I'll post a picture of it. That was really interesting. And because I'm personally a history buff and I like historical fiction or historical nonfiction, and I just love reading about time periods that I've never existed in, and especially the, like, I don't want to say the politics, but the lives of women back then were just so different than what they were now, or what they are now. And I just love reading about that time. Currently, I'm actually reading this book called The Glorious Guinness Girls. I'm actually almost done. It's by Emily Hurricane. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is about the 3 daughters of the Guinness Empire and their Guinness heiresses. And this is based in the early 1900s and 1920s kind of era. It's really, really interesting, and I'm almost done with it. So if I were to give myself a grade, I would probably say like a C on the reading aspect, but I feel like I'm getting a really good routine of where I think next year, if I just keep the same goal of 12 goals, which, side note, I will be filming my 2022 goals, and I will go more in depth of what my goals are, and honestly reading more will be included in that, so I'll go more into depth of like how I plan to accomplish that. But overall, I would give myself like a C. That I want to expand my skill set, and what I mean by that is I want to, again, learn new things. Expand my skill set. That was a really, really broad goal in my opinion, because that literally could have been anything. So if I would give myself, side note, Milo's in the room with me, if I would give myself a grade on that, I would honestly have to say, a D, because realistically, a lot of the skills that I have been using, like with YouTube or with sewing or with all of that, I haven't really added anything new. And I mean, honestly, this year has just been a crazy year, and 2022 is only going to get crazier. If you haven't heard of my life update, go check out that video. I'll link it up in the eye and down below. Yeah, expand my skill set. I didn't really do that, if I'm going to be really honest. I think looked into stuff where I can expand my skill set, but I didn't end up actually accomplishing that, at least in my opinion. I mean, I could talk to like other people around me and be like, oh yeah, you totally did. I don't think so. And that might be something where I really focus on, and I think it'll help improve a lot of like other goals, and also honestly help achieve other goals. I think that's what I meant to say. Achieve other goals. Yeah, so overall, I don't think I did that, if I'm gonna be honest.
I want to expand my skill set in terms of sewing, in terms of working with different fabrics,
I did kind of do that. I worked on a quilt this year, which I've never done before, but I didn't make it or anything.
And that kind of ties with books, because I can learn and read different books on maybe some of those skill sets, and it like
that whole point, honestly, that whole point I think is kind of moot, because I think my whole goal for reading, truthfully, is to do more recreational reading, like novels and things like this, not necessarily learning, like taking classes or, you know, something to that effect. I think that's what I'm meaning by read more. And so that tying in together obviously didn't make sense, but at the time, but I just figured I'd notate that.
my next goal, I guess, also kind of ties into that, is get back to my hobbies of drawing, painting, and also again of working with my hands, of, you know, gardening,
Okay, so getting back to my hobbies, I definitely did that. I got back into gardening. We have like a little apartment garden. I've like vlogged about it here on a couple of videos, and I will continue to do so. Hopefully in the spring we'll have some more flowers and things like that. I'm currently growing tulips. So the gardening thing, absolutely. I did get back to that kind of hobby. Sewing, iffy on that. I want to say maybe about, I give myself B or C on sewing. I did get some calligraphy books to learn how to do calligraphy. Back to doing YouTube and recording podcasts and, you know, things like that, where I feel a little more well-rounded, where I'm not just, it's not all work. I mean, yeah, I'm filming it, and yeah, it ends up, you know, being something that I'm creating and putting out into the world, but to me, it's a hobby right now. And, you know, hopefully one day the hobbies will turn into businesses, but as of right now, I'm just trying to enjoy them and just focus on creating. So overall, I'd probably give myself an A- in terms of getting back to my hobbies, particularly sewing. I definitely did not do as much sewing as I thought I would but honestly, I didn't get back to all of my hobbies, but I did get back to a lot of them.
With my next goal, it sort of ties into that, but I just want to budget better.
Okay, budget more. I have definitely given myself a lot of grace when it comes to that. I think this coming up year, I think I'm going to hunker down and not give myself so much grace and really get stricter, especially with the wedding and things going on like that. And other, you know, financial goals that, you know, Jordan and I have now moving forward as a couple. However, I feel like I was able to break down things and have a better overall view of my finances and where it needs to go, and kind of like what I want to tackle, and, you know, certain things like that, and what are my financial goals. So I would maybe give myself like a C on the budget, just because I'm not where I wanted to be, and I think sometimes my like spending habits get a little out of control. I will fully admit that, and I think that might be on my goal list of just getting that under control and being a little bit more strict with myself and not give myself so much grace. So yeah, budget more. I'm hilarious. But to be fair, my reasonings to do that are obviously because of the medical reasonings, and I just want to be a little bit more financially free and a little bit more financially smart, especially going into the future and obviously going into a marriage and all that. So yeah, budget more. That just makes me laugh, because, you know, I love shopping. I love buying makeup. I love buying clothes. I love buying shoes. Like, it's
To my next goal is, I think a lot of people have been doing this, and also So I've been doing it myself, but just continuing to declutter and organize. Since I have
Declutter and organize. So the decluttering thing, I think I've done a decent job. I had to do a lot with Jordan moving into our apartment, and we're sharing a room, sharing closets and all that. I did declutter a lot, and I've continued to declutter. And I feel like I'm pretty good. And organizing, I'm still kind of working on. So I would give myself like an A- in terms of if I've accomplished that goal or not. The decluttering aspect and getting rid of things that it's just I don't need and I think someone else could use. I think I'm doing a good job at. The organizing, it's like I have ideas and I just kind of go into a system and then it just doesn't seem to work and I just can't get myself to change it for whatever reason, which is why I don't give myself like an A+ in that department at all. The thing I think I need to do and kind of twist a little bit more is being a little bit more strategic and not strict, because I don't want to use a negative connotation with it or a negative term. Connotation. I don't want to say strict because I don't want to, attach a negative term to it, but I want to be maybe more conscious and more strategic. I think I like the word strategic better, of what I select to buy in terms of like clothes and makeup and all of that. I mean, to be fair, I do a lot of beauty on my channel. But I feel like I want to do it in an approach where it's realistic. I would love to obviously review and buy everything and get all the PR and all that, but to me that's not really realistic or relatable. I mean, it's nice to give reviews, but I would want to give a review that someone can relate to, or someone, and that's all the biggest thing is I definitely want to relate to you guys on my channel. But I want to be more strategic. Like if something really gives me joy, I will obviously want to include that. But if I'm on the fence about it, that's one rule I've definitely implemented, is if I have any doubt, don't buy it. And I'm going to continue with that rule going forward, but I definitely want to be a little bit more strategic going into 2022.
People pick like a word of the year, and I think my word of the year is going to be consistency. And
Consistency. I give myself a B on my consistency. When it comes to YouTube, I give myself a B. I feel like I did a better job than when I first started the channel of, consistently posting and all of that, and kind of doing it in a more, consistent timeline. In terms of my clothing and sewing and things like that, I would give myself an F. I was not consistent at all with that stuff. I was definitely not, I guess I just wasn't in the creative mind space I didn't have the creative mind space to put into that. And I think in 2022, I'm definitely wanting to be better at that. And I think that's something that I just want to work on. And in 2021, in terms of consistency, overall, I'd probably give myself like an average, like C, because there were things in my life I was consistent with, and then there were some things in my life I was not consistent at all. Which, I mean, I'm human, and the thing is I can applaud myself with, and why I give myself a C and not like an F is because I tried. I tried to fit everything, and I'm trying to be better at delegating, and thankfully Jordan, my lovely fiance, is willing to help, of like setting stuff up for YouTube and taking over editing for the podcast, and where I just am putting myself in so many things, and it's just because I have so many passions and loves for so many things, it just ends up stretching me so thin where I can maybe be consistent, but the quality of consistency is probably not there. So yeah, I'd give myself a C overall with consistency, but I did like the fact that I used that word for 2021.
And jumping on the consistency, I want to continually strengthening my health overall.
I give myself an A on that. I feel like I've done better. What's crazy is I want to say about 3 weeks after I filmed that video, I ended up in the hospital due to a flare-up from Crohn's disease, and then after that it took me, I think it was a total of 6 or 7 months before I was in the hospital again. So that's pretty good. Twice in 1 year, where the year previously it was like every 2 months I was like in the hospital for a procedure or whatever, you know, and I think I've done a lot better job of taking care of my health, making sure that's a priority. I take collagen every day. I mean, with the fact that soccer or football, wherever you're from, is so, so, so important to my both mental health and physical health, that I make sure I do that. And if I'm not doing that, I'm doing some sort of like workout. And I've actually started this week, I've like gone back to like weightlifting, because I just noticed that I lost a lot of weight, and you know, things were fitting me differently. And that's where I definitely see it, obviously, when I, you know, have a fluctuation or anything like that. So I'd give myself an A, and I'm giving myself a little bit of grace. I probably could go with a B, but that's going to continue going into 2022. Again, I'll talk more about that in my goals video, but that just makes me like kind of happy to see. It's like, yeah, that was my goal, and I feel like I did a really good job with that. And yeah, I mean, considering obviously with everything. Okay, what is the next one?
Consistently, there's that word again, look more put together. And what I mean by that is,
so consistently look more put together. I give myself an A+ on that department, because with like my job, truthfully, I don't have to get dressed up at my job, but I do it anyway. It makes me feel good, and it makes me ready for the day. And yeah, I mean, it makes me ready for the day. It makes me want to tackle things. It makes me act more professional. What else? It just, I don't know, it just makes me feel good when I do it. And I'm going to continue to do that. With my, like, you know, growing love for makeup and hair and testing products and fashion. I mean, granted, the love of fashion I did not think would ever grow, but it did. It did, and it does continually continue to grow. Oh my gosh. My love of fashion I never thought would increase, but it just does. I mean, with the tying of like hair and makeup and things like that, it's just something that brings me so much joy. And when I get up and, you know, I get ready, there are days, don't get me wrong, there are days where I'm just like, I don't even want to do anything. I don't even want to brush my hair. I know everyone can kind of relate to that, but I've really enjoyed it. And every time like there's an occasion, or if there's like we're doing something, I just make sure I'm like dressed for the occasion and put together enough for the occasion and all that. And it just makes me happy. It makes me end up being, I don't want to say like more present or like in the moment, but it makes me more excited to go do stuff. And I think that's where it kind of streams and comes from. But yeah, I give myself an A on that one, and I know that's going to continue just because of my love for YouTube and wanting to test new makeup, try different outfits and try different fashion challenges, and, you know, do different hair products or try different products. And, you know, it's just honestly, it's going to grow. And so I give myself an A+ on that one. Oh man, I'm looking at that and I feel like I've changed a little bit, but I still see myself in that girl. It's like, I mean, it was just last year, and, you know, I'm only going to change just, you know, becoming a wife and, you know, all the future that holds, and, you know, maybe becoming a homeowner again. Like, I don't, you know, just, it just brings me so much joy to look at that and to see, like, I knew what happened before that girl came around, and it's just, it's nice to see the fact that I haven't changed too much. Like, I haven't changed in the wrong directions. I didn't have a lot of goals, but overall I think I give myself a B for, you know, all the goals that I tackled in 2021, which is not bad, to be honest. And, you know, looking back, and that's why I love making these videos, because I can look back and just be like, huh, yeah, you were a different person then, or huh, I totally forgot that that's what I wanted to do, you know, things like that. And just having those memories, it just kind of, it makes me smile and laugh. So yeah, those were my goals for 2021, and, you know, it has come to a close, and it's come to a close joyously. I'm ending the year on a good note, and I'm so excited for 2022 and what what all that entails and holds. And you know, I'm excited to just tackle more of and do more for those goals that I had in 2021 and just continue on that process, because those things weren't going to be done overnight. I mean, some of them could have, but that growth and mindset and all that changes, you know, that's going to have to continue, and I know I will, and I will work hard to make sure it does. And yeah, so I'm excited. So stay tuned for my 2022 goals video. And oh man, I really hope you enjoyed this. At least hopefully it was entertaining and interesting to see like my thought process of if I actually tackled these goals or not. And let me know down in the comments if you tackled all the goals that you wanted to do in 2021, and or maybe you changed your mind on some of them, like which honestly, that's anyone's prerogative, because you know, things change, things happen, and all that. So yeah, let me know down in the comments your thoughts and what goals you tackled or which ones you didn't tackle. And I hope to see you in my 2022 goals. And like this video if you did like it. Subscribe for new videos every single week. Here we do all kinds of stuff. I'm a little all over the place. We do beauty, lifestyle, fashion, DIY, which I keep saying is coming, but I swear it's coming, and gardening and all that stuff. I'm just a girl who's sharing all her passions, from hemming a dress to planting a garden, and I hope you enjoy that and hope you can relate to that. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.